You want to learn how to achieve this simple everyday makeup, then keep on watching. Makeup is not difficult, however, with the right technique, you can achieve a flawless makeup even as a beginner. I'm starting off my bare face, and first you want to start with a primer. A primer serves as a barrier between your makeup and your skin. Because I'm oily skin, I'm using a matte primer. If you're dry skin, use an hydrating primer. Applying the primer on my T-zone area, the places where I produce oil the most, and allow that to sit in. And next I'm going to be using a foundation. These are all drugstore products. Another good foundation for drugstore is this Maybelline Fit Me foundation. And to apply my foundation, I'm placing my foundation at the back of my hand. Do not apply your foundation directly on your face. That way you won't have a lot of control, or have a bit of control. Placing your foundation at the back of your hand, you have a lot of control, and you know the amount of foundation to use on your face. To apply the foundation over on my face, I'm using the concealer brush to place the foundation. When picking your foundation, know your skin type and know your skin tone. For this, I'm using a brush to blend in my foundation. You can use a beauty sponge to blend your foundation as a beginner. As you can see, the foundation is light on my skin, but it's my exact undertone. You can get away with a foundation that is your exact undertone. When blending your foundation, make sure to blend your foundation from the center of your face, then spreading it out to the other perimeter of your face. Make sure to also blend it all the way down to your neck. And as you can see, after placing the foundation, I still have some foundation left. That's because I placed my foundation at the back of my hand, so I didn't have to apply a lot of foundation on my face. So I'm going to use the remaining foundation to place on the other side of my face where there is no foundation, or where I did not apply foundation. You can see my entire face, how it's looking. You can see that the foundation is well blended into my skin. You don't want to apply a lot of foundation without gaining control to placing your foundation. The next step is concealer. You can use a concealer to cover up the areas you have dark circles or discoloration, and you can also place a concealer to highlight your face. I have dark circles on my under eye area. For this reason, I'm going to use the concealer to highlight and also conceal my under eye area, and placing the concealer also on my T-zone area where I want to highlight my forehead and the bridge of my nose. I'm going to use a beauty sponge to blend my concealer, and I'm using a damp beauty sponge. Do not use a dry beauty sponge or a wet beauty sponge. That way you will not blend your concealer flawlessly. When blending your concealer, make sure to blend your concealer from the edges and then spread it out. So I'm blending from my forehead, and I'm also going to blend my under eye, and I'm going to repeat the exact same step. Part of having a flawless under eye is knowing how to blend your under eye concealer flawlessly. As you can see in the blending process, I'm blending my concealer upwards, and I'm making sure to blend it around my under eye area. I'm not spreading the concealer all the way down towards my mouth. You don't want to blend your concealer that way, especially when you're highlighting your under eye area. Make sure to push it up and blend out the crease lines, because concealer usually settles in the fine line area, and you don't want that. Blend it upwards to take away from your concealer settling in the fine lines or the crease lines under your eye. Next is contour. Placing the contour on your face is to add like a dimension or to enhance features of your face, especially the hollows of your cheek, your forehead, and your nose. So if you don't have structured nose, you can place your contour to enhance those features. You can see that my face is well structured, so I'm going to place my concealer on that area to contour those areas. I'm using a dense brush to blend that. When blending your contour, make sure to blend it upwards, especially when you're blending the hollows of your face. That's where it's going to lift your cheek area. To blend out my nose contour, I'm using this really small dense brush to blend it, and I'm blending it upwards towards my eyebrow. I'm bringing it all the way down. I'm also blending from the edges to take away from the harsh lines, because we don't want to see the harsh lines. To make sure that is all blended to your skin. Next is setting powder, and for setting powder, you can decide to use a finishing powder, or you can decide to use a loose setting powder. And I'm using a finishing powder because I have textured skin and I'm oily skin, and part of using a finishing powder is to blur out the pores and also blur out fine lines. When using a setting powder, make sure to use a setting powder that is close or similar to the concealer you placed under your eye. And I'm using this really small beauty sponge. You can find it in your beauty supply store. It is really good, and I love using this beauty sponge under my eye. And before placing the powder under your eye, make sure to go in with beauty sponge you use to blend in your concealer to blend your crease lines. You don't want to place your powder over on the crease line. Blending away the crease lines would give you a seamless under eye and not enhancing your crease lines. Before placing your setting powder under your eye, make sure to tap off the excess at the back of your hand. I'm using a powder palette, and I'm mixing two powder shades to set the areas where we applied contour. I'm using this powder because this powder is similar to the shade or similar to the concealer we used to place for our contour. And then next, to blend my nose area, I'm also going to be using another dense brush, and I'm tapping off the excess and I'm blending my nose contour. I'm making sure to set my nose contour. Going back in with the same powder palette, I'm also going to mix 2 shades of powder to blend the other sides of my face where we did not apply concealer product. To set, you can decide to use a compact powder or decide to use a powder palette. For me, I love using this powder palette because I have varieties of powder to choose from, and I'm going to use it to blend the areas of my face where I see there is harsh lines, my forehead, and the areas where I just applied the contour product. Don't be afraid to go back in to use a powder brush to blend away the harsh lines. That way it gives you a flawless blend and a flawless skin finish. This is how we're currently looking like. And next is blush. For blush, I'm using this blush palette. The reason I'm using the blush palette is because I have varieties of blush to choose from, and when placing the blush, I'm placing the blush on the highest point of my cheekbone. You see the areas where you have cheekbone, or slightly above where you place your contour. That is where you place your blush. And I'm going to use my powder brush to blend, to take off the harsh lines. And next, for highlighter, placing the highlighter slightly above where we just place the contour. And before placing your highlighter, make sure to tap off the excess. And I'm using an eyeshadow brush, and I'm also going to be placing the highlighter on the bridge of my nose and my cupid's bow. And if you apply too much highlighter, make sure to go back in with your powder brush to blend that out or blend it away. As a beginner, you want to start off using products that you can control. Using a baked highlighter is perfect for beginner. And next, for lips, I'm lining my lips with a brown lip liner. I'm also going in with a lip gloss, using this one from NYX lip gloss. This is an oldie but goodie. It's a really good lip gloss, and you can decide to use a lipstick however you want or however you please. And to finish off this look, I'm going to set my entire face using a setting spray. A setting spray seals and locks the makeup and takes away the powder product we just applied all over on our face, melting everything to one and making the makeup look more skin-like. This is a finished look, and you can achieve your makeup looking flawless and even if you follow all of the technique and all of the steps provided here in this video correctly. Check out my other videos. I hope to see you in the next one.